Of course, we can create text assets in Photoshop and Illustrator and import them into After Effects for animation. But it's probably more logical and more versatile to create your text inside of After Effects. Let's look at creating some text in a composition. So I'll create a new composition. And I'm going to go with the HD size for this animation and black background. Actually, we'll go with the Insta size. Click OK. I might call that text. Just hit return there. Okay, since we're going to be working with text, let's go over to the text workspace. And that gives us easy access to our character and our paragraph panels. Now these will be familiar to you, obviously, very similar to Photoshop and Illustrator. The character panel allows us to set typefaces, to change our fill and stroke. Of course, we can change the font size, change our leading and tracking. We can do some distortion. We've also got some faux styles here. Paragraph panel pretty much allows us to justify our text left and right and so forth. Let's make some text. We'll do that with our text tool, horizontal type tool, and we can just click anywhere on our stage there or a canvas, and we'll get a cursor and we can add some type. So there's some type on the stage. I can move that around using the move tool. Now I can adjust that by, or I can adjust my anchor point by adjusting my justification there. I'm going to keep that to the left. I can increase the type size by just beefing up that, that font size number. And I can change the color, of course. Now, in terms of animation, we've got all of the usual properties that an asset has. So we can see it looks slightly different to another layer. If I twirl that down, I've got the transform properties here, and I can animate this object, animate its position over time. Like so. Or its opacity, I can drop its opacity down, so on and so forth. I'll just undo that. We do have another twirl down here that we should have a quick look at. And in here we've got a source text stopwatch. So I can actually change the source text at particular points in the timeline. And to make an alteration to our text, all we need to do is either click on the layer itself with the text tool, the type itself with the text tool, or double click the item in the timeline. And I can, can change that there. And so see, as we move forward in time, I can actually change that source text. I can keyframe that source text. We can also have paragraphs or multiple lines of text. Let me add some text like that. So we can click and drag and kind of make a text box like we can in other apps. And then I'll just paste in some the sentence of text there. I'm going to change the typeface. Drop the point size right down, and then also change our leading. So that's multiple lines of text in a text box. Aside from our normal transformation kind of animation potentials, position, scale, rotation, and opacity, After Effects has a whole bunch of pretty interesting animation presets that work quite well with text. So if we go to our Effects and Presets panel, which you'll find under Window, Effects and Presets, and if we scroll down to Text, twirl that to, oops, it's not the, looking for Animation Presets, sorry, and then scroll down to Text. There's a whole lot here that you should definitely muck around with, but you might find the Animate In and the Animate Out presets really quite useful to speed up your animation and to get some interesting effects. For example, I'm going to fade up lines, and I'm just going to make sure that my keyframe indicator is right at the start where I want an animation to begin. I'm going to drag that preset either onto the asset in the canvas or in its instance on the timeline. Oops, it worked that time. So you can see it's disappeared because this is an Animate In preset, so it's kind of going to reveal and fade up lines over time. And when I scroll through there, you can see that that preset, that animation preset, is taking place. So let's try a few more of those. I'm going to create some more text, but just a single line of text. I'll make it a bit bigger. Just by the way, all of your text keyboard shortcuts are the same as they are in Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator. So that'll help you with your typesetting. Going to grab another animation preset here from the text bucket and the Animate In, and I'm going to do something crazy. Fade up and flip. See how that goes. Now you can see what I've done there. The animation presets actually take effect from the point with which your current time indicator is located. So I'm just going to undo that and make sure that I'm right at 0 there, and I'm going to even try another one randomly, fly in with a twist. Alright, so you can see that there's a bunch of presets ready to go. It's to get you up and running with animating your text. And we've also got, obviously, the basic transformation properties that we can apply to our text, just like any other asset